Don't you push me. Don't push me. Hi, I'm Phil.
And hi, I'm Luke.
Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking. Luke's a vegan. We're gonna make vegan food tonight. They're gonna be satanic tendies.
Seitan Tendies.
These are vegan buffalo chicken tendies, minus the chicken. I can't believe it's not chicken. Okay, Luke, take it away. I'll be here. Also, we've been drinking, and Luke's gonna drink, and I'm gonna drink, and we're drinking. Cheers. Court made this drink and didn't like it, so that's what I'm drinking. Okay, what do we need, Luke?
Vital wheat gluten.
What's that?
This is pure gluten. We've got nutritional yeast.
Is that the Dorito flavor?
This is yeast. We vegans call this nooch. This will give you like...
Hey man, you got that good nooch.
This will give you kind of like that cheesy flavor, so you're not just eating straight
The
dough.
Dorito flavor.
The Dorito flavor. This is your nacho flavor.
I've had this before.
So we're gonna make it and we're gonna season it up. It's gonna be delicious, and then we're gonna bread it and fry it and put some buffalo sauce on it, and we're gonna smash.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Let's make some vegan tendies.
This is the video everyone wanted in 2019. How to make vegan tendies. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
So we're gonna mix the dry ingredients in one bowl, and we're gonna mix the wet ingredients in another bowl. We're gonna do 1 cup of the vital wheat gluten. The thing about vegan ingredients is that they all sound hella appetizing. So you have things like vital wheat gluten and nutritional yeast and, you know, textured vegetable protein. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of the nutritional yeast. We're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of cumin.
Come in. Don't stay outside. It's raining.
I'm gonna do about 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder.
It's like 1.5 teaspoons.
Yep, yes, probably something like that. It doesn't matter. It's flavor. What are you gonna do? Can you have too much flavor? It's impossible.
That's not true. Oh.
With vegan cooking, it's impossible to have too much flavor.
Bro, the last time Marlena came over, we made some vegan taquito things, and she was like, put in 2 tablespoons of garlic salt, and they were the saltiest things I have ever had in my
Load of garlic. That's a lot of salt.
Salt's
a flavor.
So 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder. Onion power.
Thank you.
1/2 teaspoon of paprika, which is two of these bad boys. This is smoked paprika.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon, like just some seasoning. Italian seasoning is good. So that's our dry mix. For our wet mix, we're gonna do 3/4 cup of vegetable broth, which I'm totally gonna eyeball.
This guy's a maverick.
Yeah, I just break the rules. We'll do 1/4 cup of water, which is 1/2 of a half. That's basic math. We'll do 1/8 cup of ketchup.
Are we making Seitan right now?
We are summoning Satan. We'll do a teaspoon of soy sauce in the wet mix, and a teaspoon of olive oil in the wet mix.
Olive oil.
Olive oil. And then take all of our ingredients, we'll mix them all together. We'll start with the dry mix. We'll get like a nice mix on all of that. Make sure that nooch is mixed nicely with the rest of the vital wheat gluten. It's vital.
Oh.
So there's our dry mix, and then there's our wet mix. Stir all that stuff up together. Some more of that nice scrapey sound. And then we will mix them together. Now this is gonna make like a dough.
It smells like Dorito ramen. It does. It does. If you ate a lot of Doritos and then a pack of ramen and then barf, that's what it smells.
That is.
Oh my god, you are not selling my recipe to YouTube. I hope nobody sees this. So this is basically what it looks like. It's wet, it's doughy. The next step, we're gonna take our oven. We're gonna heat it up to 350 degrees. We're gonna bake this for about 30 minutes, flip it over, and bake it for about 30 more minutes. We want to cook it for just long enough that it feels firm, like a rare piece of meat.
Or a firm dough.
Very firm. The next step is to wrap it in aluminum foil. So we're gonna stretch this out. We're gonna make a, I don't know, kind of like a tubular thing. You don't have to be super weird about it. Something like that is fine. And this will actually make a lot of tendies for us. We're gonna wrap that in the aluminum foil. Place it into the oven at 350 degrees. And like I said, that's going to bake for about 30 minutes, and then maybe another 30 minutes whenever it starts to feel firm and it doesn't do that thing anymore and it starts to feel like a firm piece, we are gonna cook it again. We're gonna fry it so it just has to be firm enough for us to cut it into tendies.
We'll be back shortly to show you how it looks.
All right, so we're gonna flip it over. It's been 30 minutes. 30 more minutes, we'll be ready. So it's been another half hour and we're done. I'm gonna take it out of the oven.
Look at that, he just grabbed it with no glove. That's a superpower only vegans unlock. They got no feeling in their hands.
It's due to a lack of circulation from, low iron and B vitamins.
Yeah, something like that.
But this is what it looks like. It's a dough. It's a completely different sort of product.
It's still a dough?
It's still a dough. It's a dough. It's a dough. A deer. A female deer. It is now officially Seitan.
I think it's a loaf.
We have summoned a loaf of Seitan. This is a loaf of Seitan. Satan's loaf. We're going to take our Seitan, our loaf of Seitan, and I like to cut it on a bias.
That's how you make a fancy food.
So that you get different size tenders. I think it's weird when you go and get vegan foods like tofu wings or something from a place and every piece is exactly the same size. I mean, it isn't aesthetically as satisfying. Each piece is a little bit different. It's just a little more fun, a little more convincing.
Artisanal. Hand cut Seitan.
If you've ever crushed a huge pile of tendies before, this is actually gonna make a lot. This recipe can easily be doubled. It's gonna make a lot of really yummy tendies.
There's a good chance that a significant portion of our audience and viewership has crushed a good pile of tendies, probably every day, probably made by your mama.
Have you ever crushed a tendies?
Hell yeah, I love tendies.
So we've got a lot of tendies here, and the next thing we're gonna do with these tendies is we're gonna bread them. Literally any batter recipe that you have, if you have inherited some sort of a wonderful batter recipe from your grandma or something, I'm sure it's 1,000 times better than what I'm about to do, but this is what I've surmised from trial and error. We're gonna use about a cup of flour.
It's a good start.
We're going to use some corn starch. I like about a 1/4 cup of corn starch.
That's a lot of starch.
It's a lot of starch, but it's also gonna make a fair amount of batter. Maybe not a 1/4 cup, maybe something like that.
You're pretty loud right now.
We got a teaspoon of baking powder.
Can you please say that again?
There's about a teaspoon of baking powder. And then we'll use about half a tablespoon of baking soda.
Baking powder and baking soda?
Well, I like to have a supple mixture, so we use...
It's like he's making bread.
It is. At that point, we're just gonna kind of season it up to taste. Good amount of salt, pepper. I, of course, add garlic powder to everything. Just to cook. Garlic powder. That was onion powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of paprika, just a dip. Now you can actually go a little bit thicker on the batter than what I am, but I'm cheap, so I tend to go for a little bit of a runnier batter. I put a little bit of water in this. I'm gonna keep adding water until I get a consistency that I like, because I don't want to add too much. I am going for something adjacent to a pancake batter. This is actually probably a good consistency for a batter, I think. It's something like that. Something that sticks to itself.
Do you have anything that you would like to tell the folks at home that's not related to this recipe?
Like and subscribe.
No, that's no.
I've always wanted to say that. I've always wanted to say that. So I'm going to, we're gonna deep fry these tendies. So we'll add just a good amount of oil, just a good amount of oil, enough that we can put it in, fry it, flip it over. We're gonna heat this up. All right, so is the fry oil ready? There's the fry oil.
Is that an existential question?
Everything is an existential question.
Is lettuce good?
Does lettuce exist?
Focus!
So I'm gonna take a little bit of water, throw it in there. Oh baby, that's hot.
That's not safe.
So I have my fry batter that we made earlier. It's pancake batter with a bunch of salt in it. We're just gonna add a bunch of these tendies to the batter. We have our tendies. We just need the right amount of batter on them. place them in the hot oil. Gonna kind of go like this. We're just gonna do multiple dippings.
Dipping.
We have a ton of tendies. Put them in, flip them over. You've got a nice brown color because of the baking soda that we put in it. And we've got a nice thick battery coating because of the baking powder that we put in it. So we're gonna keep taking these out and add new ones. It didn't take very long, just long enough to put like a whole batch in and then flip them all over, and then about 30 to 60 seconds. You're gonna get a nice supple breading.
These look great. Do you know that you're good at this? It is mind-blowing to me how similar those look to like flapper chicken wings. That looks like a flapper chicken wing. Like I would be like, is there bones in there? No, there's not.
There's no
vegan bones. We're saucing them in Texas Pete. Pedro de Tejas.
Adding some Texas Pete.
Okay, that's all I have. It's looking pretty good. I'm seriously like, they look so much like chicken wings that I just don't know, man. If you want to sauce a wing, whether it's vegan or not, click here to learn more about a sauce that is not vegan.
We're gonna cheers this wing. Cheers. It's pretty good tendy.
That's really good.
What's it taste like?
Doritos. If you had not actually eaten a chicken wing in a really long time, you could eat this and be like, yeah, that's a chicken wing.
That's how we vegans get by.
No, this is really enjoyable. I really like the texture. I really like the spice blend. This is something that I feel like almost anyone could enjoy. It's what I feel like a lot of times, like with vegan food, a lot of times people are like, oh, it's a fake version of X. This is something that's like on its own is like, you could just be like, this is a Seitan wing, and people would be like, yeah, yeah, I want some of those. Hell yeah, that's how you do it. You should say that too.
That's how you do it.
See you later.
Bye, see you next time.